He is like glass that wants to break. He has become so frustrated by life. He's delicate.
Chapter 1. School is out. I'm an American studying art history in Paris, looking for more information on a portrait painter named Sconosciuta, who only signed her art with the letter J.
My professor has a job for me from a recently passed friend of hers. A large quantity of artworks were shipped to her nephew who lives in a chateau. I will go to determine the dates of all the works and authenticate any I can.
Chapter 2. The Road to Warrandyte. I have my arms between the door of the car and my head, my friend Iris's sunglasses literally giving the world a rose-colored tint. I just can't help but watch every lavender bush that rolls by.
That's when Dante, the driver, says, "Welcome to Manoir du Dernier, Signora Pin."
Chapter 3. 6 Spaces. In the chateau, there are paintings and tapestries hung on every wall, not one getting its own space or spotlight, but each one looks like it belongs in a museum or a textbook. Every new hallway and corner feels like I'm getting further and further into an unsolvable labyrinth. I meet Jamie, the chef. She instantly feels like home, like safety. I help her cook every moment I get.
And here's the gallery. Dante has set up all the paintings in here that need dating. There may be a few remainders as we sort through the rest of Mademoiselle Milana's estate. All of these paintings were recovered from her estate in Switzerland or from her collections being shown in Paris. While I could write a paper on each painting, I simply add my notes to the binder with the information that I can ascertain and move on to the next group. There's way too many to spend my time idling.
You must be Zoe Pin. I'm Felix. Now I've met Felix, the owner of the house I have heard so little about. Chapter 4. Thorn Necklace and Hummingbird. I recognize him instantly. Of course I do. Felix Carros, famed painter, prodigy, playboy.
We avoid each other. I explore every inch of the house except the garden of statues I know is hiding out in the back. While my passion and allegiance is with painted art, I've always loved marble statues and the carefully creating something beautiful from nothing. A great big slab of stone can hold a gorgeous creation in the right hands. The article I found about the statues quotes Felix as saying, "I will never donate them. They go with me when I'm gone. They are not for anyone else besides my family. They are to remember, not to sell." Felix showed me into his art studio and said he will never sell or donate his art because museums just hold whatever no one wants in their bathroom. A museum would just give them to the highest bidder. The lights go out one night and we use candles to negate the dark. Felix dips his fingers into the candle wax. Once the pads of his fingers are covered, he removes them from the hot flame and they instantly cool against the night air. He strokes my lips and we finally kiss.
Chapter 5. Moonrise, Beaumont.
I spend all of my time with Felix from then on. We picnic and Felix plucks me a bouquet. He trims the stem and places it over my ear, saying a compliment to me, and that I was his flower. Ma fleur.
You demand to be immortalized, he said when asking to paint my portrait. Just like his paintings, his statues are full of his own personal demons. He shows them to me, finally. We talk about our fears. He doesn't like my answer. He says, "Perhaps it is the language barrier, our native tongues not being the same." But I did not say that. Most people fear the unknown, but you, ma fleur, fear knowing too much. Chapter 6. Young Pines Sky. I work on the last few artworks, which are easy enough to decode. Felix comes in and sits with me while I work. He doesn't say anything, and I don't say anything. But perhaps the painlessness is the reason I still feel pain. To avoid feeling means experiencing it even more when it washes over you. When the water goes cold and the candles go out, I go to my room to pack, taking everything I brought with me and a little more, leaving only the key to my bedroom door. Chapter 7. Entropia.
I go back to Paris and partying with Iris. We end up standing on the booth seats at the last club, just the two of us above everyone else and the music that I feel pumping into my bones and moving my muscles for me. During the days, I fill my time with art and try to find my passion again.
One evening, Felix Ghost enters and takes out all the joyous energy of the room. I feel all of the warm air being sucked away across the room and out of the door. There could be a million pins stabbing my skin, and I don't think I would feel a thing. I wonder if anyone knows the weight of having Felix back with me and the anti-gravity I feel in this bed. Chapter 8. Raspberries.
He takes me back to the chateau with him while he finishes packing everything up and I wait for school to start in the fall. I don't think about much beyond Felix.
We go back to the chateau and back to those statues. I find one of interest made by an ancestor of Felix's. She did not specify the name of her statue's muse, but she did call it Medusa. I think we found my sconosciuta.
Felix tells me he wants to immortalize me. You have your painting, I remind him. But I want stone, he states coldly.
Felix and I uncover even more art from his relatives. Where I was expecting a blank canvas is rather an etching, or more of a scratch in the letter J, the signature of sconosciuta. Chapter 9. In the Logue. We did find a few letters from Marie, who was a cachet that commissioned the Medusa statue. They were two artists watching one another while they create immortal versions of one another. After 2 months of being slouched over on the floor, studying the paintings and ignoring my routine, it's no wonder I feel every bone in my body at once. Felix was recommended to seek mental health treatment because there was a worry that he would hurt himself. Without any real help, the situation could become dire. This is the artistic playboy the world knows him as. The spoiled rich boy whose tongue can whip a severe lashing until he gets what he wants. He's not my Felix right now. Chapter 10. Lilacs in a Window. I keep my distance and wander the rooms, even more locked than before, and they will forever remain a mystery to me. Not every moment of my being can be intertwined with Felix, because not every moment will have him. Felix finally emerges and motions for me to follow him. He's going straight for the statues, not letting the low rumble of lightning-filled clouds deter him. I look to the sky just as the first fat drop of water meets my eye. I'm alone with Felix, and I have no idea where the keys to the car are or where the car itself is parked.
I find one statue that looks newer than the rest. I can see from those knuckles all the way to the tips, they aren't white stone. They are flesh, like a human. I go to touch them and realize they are human. It is a human trapped underneath the stone. It's my uncle, and apparently he was trying to meet me in Paris. The statues are all people. Felix knew them, he loved them, he killed them.
Chapter 11. From the far away, nearby.
The sun is hanging lower and lower in the sky, and the sounds downstairs are getting fewer and further between. The party is nearly beginning, and I realize I can't sit and wait to get murdered by this guy. I don't know what's going to happen once it gets dark, and I don't want to find out. I run until I can see the hill that I know hides the neighbor's property from eyesight. I can't see the Caros estate anymore, so I know I'm free for now.
But it turns out my salvation is going to lead me right to my grave.
Votre prix est ici. Your prize is here.
The terrible man tells Felix.
Viens le chercher.
Come get her. I take off running down the hallway, but those damn blundering boots follow my footsteps.
Chapter 12. Juno borrowing the belt of Venus.
Those boot sounds are getting louder, and without much of a choice, I take the flashlight I brought with me and send it through the window.
I look to see Felix walk up to me. His pace is quick and sure. I just turn my head into the gravel and let my tears fall there as well. Soon enough, I feel his strong arms lifting me up.
The chateau is hosting a party in full swing. This might be Felix's last hurrah. His last party and the last party any cachet will ever throw. Not one of these people talked to me like I was a victim of an evil man. They all had the same curiosity for me that I have for an animal behind the glass at a zoo. The entire energy of the room changes and feels like it has shifted to the left. We're the only ones standing on the floor. Everyone has cleared out the space for us. Felix twirls me and faces me to the back wall with the open doors. A party's not a good party if it relies on its host to attend, ma fleur. He leans down and kisses me. It's chaste and it disgusts me more than anything. Chapter 13. Untitled. Felix is silent as he walks by my side toward the statue garden. We aren't moving particularly quickly, not like the last times when I was eager for answers and practically skipped all the way there. He describes his plan to me. Like Pompeii, I say, under my breath, remembering those horrible images of people lying on the ground in fetal positions and clinging to one another as they knew there was nowhere to run.
I use all my might and press down on his face until I can get my body up and out of the clay. I tell him, I hope you know, Felix, I did love you. I really did. I don't know why you feel you had to test me so much. All I wanted was you. I know everyone else has always had expectations of you, but you're all I wanted, and I never wanted to be like your family.
You shouldn't have chosen me, Felix. I have a BA in art history, motherfucker. The last word with as much bite as I can muster. With that, he drowns under the cement. I finally find the secret garage and escape in a car. It isn't until I'm out and sailing down the road that the adrenaline in my ears subsides, and I can hear the wonderful sound of the premium car engine, the night air whizzing past me, and the sound of another vehicle following me. I don't know if the clutch stalled out I don't know if my hand slipped and turned the wheel too quickly. I don't know if I hit a pothole I didn't see. What I do know is that I'm stuck in a ditch in the side of the road in nearly the blink of an eye. When the shining lights of Paris start twinkling in the seeable distance, I asked Dante one last question. Can we go for some burgers?